You're not going to believe the latest poll numbers for Starmer. It's like watching a political train wreck in slow motion. A fresh YouGov poll just came out, and it's nothing short of a disaster for Labour. Only 21% of voters trust Starmer's government to run the country. That's less than a quarter of the population. To put this in perspective, these numbers are approaching some of the lowest approval ratings we've seen in British political history. Even John Major's government, during the depths of the 1990s recession, didn't sink this low this fast. I spoke to Sarah, a lifelong Labour voter from Manchester, who told me, "I've supported Labour for 30 years, but Starmer's making me question everything. It's like he's forgotten what the party stands for." All right, folks, let's talk about something that's really going to make your blood boil. Keir Starmer's handling of the grooming gang issue is nothing short of a disaster. You'd think protecting kids would be a top priority for any leader, right? Well, not for our Keir, apparently. Grooming gangs have been a serious problem in the UK for years, with vulnerable children being targeted and exploited. It's a horrific issue that's torn families apart and left lasting scars on communities. Remember when Starmer brushed off calls for a public inquiry into grooming gangs? He acted like it wasn't a big deal, but then Elon Musk called him out on it, and suddenly Starmer's doing a U-turn faster than a Formula One car. Starmer's leadership is looking shakier by the day. Scandals are piling up faster than he can handle, and experts are comparing it to governments that have crashed under too much pressure. People are already eyeing Rachel Reeves and Jonathan Reynolds as potential replacements. It's not just about Starmer anymore, it's about Labour's future. How much longer can this go on? The clock is ticking, and we're in for a wild political ride. Don't miss a beat. Keep watching, keep talking, and let me know what you think in the comments. This story is far from over, and your voice matters. What do you guys think about all of this? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content on the issues that matter for Britain's future. Here's where it gets really rich. The police went ahead and revealed Rudar Kubana's jihadi manual and the ricin in October 2023, months after the attack. So much for not prejudicing the trial, eh? If it was such a big no-no to reveal this stuff in July, why was it suddenly okay in October? And you know what's even more infuriating? Starmer's got the nerve to say he'd do nothing differently. It's like he's living in some parallel universe where lying to the public is just business as usual. Explain the change. It's just, oh, by the way, everything I said before, yeah, ignore that. This is what I think now. It's like he thinks we've all got the memory of a goldfish. Like we won't remember all those impassioned speeches about climate emergencies and how we need to act now. Well, newsflash, Keir. We remember, and we're not impressed. The brutal murder of Chantel Taylor has left her family shattered, their pain compounded by a justice system that seems to favour the perpetrator over the victims. Stephen Wynne, the cold-blooded killer responsible for this heinous act, initially received a 21-year sentence. But in a shocking turn of events, it was reduced to just 18 years. Now he's even won the right to be moved to an open prison, inching closer to freedom, while Chantel's family continues to suffer. This case highlights a disturbing trend in our justice system. Compared to other countries, the UK's sentencing for murder often falls short. In the US, for instance, life without parole is common for such crimes. Here we're seeing murderers walk free after less than 2 decades. Chantel's family isn't taking this lying down. They're fighting for Chantel's law, which would impose a minimum 40-year sentence for murderers who don't reveal the location of their victim's body. It's a plea for justice that resonates with many. Over 10,000 people have signed a petition supporting this change. Chantel's mother Jean expressed her cooking up for us. And get this, the EU bigwigs are already talking about it. Donald Tusk's been running his mouth about the UK coming back into the fold. They're calling it a Breton. Can you believe it? It's like they're laughing in our faces. There's this massive £420 billion defence scheme being cooked up by European leaders, and Starmer's being pressured to join. What about NATO? What about our sovereignty? He doesn't seem to care about any of that. It's clear as day what's happening here. Starmer's letting the EU pull his strings, dancing to their tune while he tries to keep us in the dark. He's selling us out, piece by piece, hoping we won't notice until it's too late. This is a massive betrayal of everything we voted for in 2016. We said we wanted out. We said we wanted to take back control. And now Starmer's trying to hand it all back on a silver platter. It's like he's spitting in the face of every Leave voter in the country. And you know what's really rich? Starmer's still going on about how he respects the Brexit vote, but actions speak louder than words, don't they? Every move he makes shows us exactly might not be the vote winner they thought. Public opinion is shifting, and Labour's scrambling to keep up. See, people are starting to wake up to the fact that whatever the UK does about climate change, it's not going to make a dent globally. We could turn off every light in Britain, and it wouldn't make a lick of difference to the big picture. And guess what? Folks aren't too keen on tanking the economy for a pat on the back from Greta Thunberg. So now we've got Starmer and Campbell doing this awkward dance. They're trying to keep one foot in the "we care about the planet" camp, while shoving the other one firmly into the "but we also like money" territory. It's like watching someone try to ride two horses at once. Entertaining, but you know it's going to end badly. And let's not forget, this is the same Labour Party that was lecturing us all about the evils of air travel not too long ago. Now they're practically rolling out the red carpet for a new runway. Talk about mixed messages. But here's the thing that really gets me. It's not just that Starmer's changing his mind. Politicians do that all the time. It's the sheer shamelessness of it all, security concerns. And here's the kicker. All of this is happening while Starmer's trying to position himself as a strong leader who can protect British interests. Well, I've got news for you, Starmer. Cozying up to a country that's actively working against our security interests isn't exactly screaming strong leadership. It's more like inviting the fox into the henhouse and expecting everything to be fine. Wake up, Starmer. Your China policy isn't just misguided, it's potentially dangerous for the UK. You know, Starmer's really outdone himself this time. Remember the Southport attack? It caused chaos and raised questions about public safety. Well, turns out our dear leader's been sitting on some explosive information. While Starmer was busy pointing fingers at far-right thuggery for the protests, he was keeping a lid on some seriously scary stuff. The guy behind the attack, Axel Rudakubana, had a jihadi terror training manual. But here's the kicker. They found a biological weapon in his bedroom. A biological weapon? Can you believe it? You'd think this is the kind of information the public might want to know.